All right, let's jump right in. We are living in a world that is just, well, overflowing with data. But here's the thing, most of it isn't neat and tidy. It's kind of like the digital Wild West, a huge, chaotic landscape of information. And today, we're going to talk about how we're learning to find the gold in all that chaos. So get this number is absolutely staggering. Some estimates suggest that a whopping 80% of an organization's data is what we call unstructured. Just let that sink in for a second. The vast majority of information, the raw material of our entire digital age, is just sitting there, largely untapped and completely unanalyzed. So what is unstructured data really? Well, unlike a nice, clean spreadsheet, it's all the messy stuff. It's the text in your emails, it's your social media posts, the photos you share, the videos you watch. It's even the audio from a customer service call. Basically, it's information in its raw, native, human-generated format. And to really wrap our heads around this, you have to understand the scale we're talking about. This isn't just a little stream of data. No, it's a full-on deluge. It's an explosion of information that is totally reshaping our digital world. The growth here is it's truly mind-boggling. I mean, look back at 2010. The global data sphere was already growing fast. By 2020, it had absolutely exploded. And now, it's projected to hit 163 zettabytes by 2025. That's a number with 21 zeros. And you can see right here, the vast majority of that new growth is this chaotic, unstructured data we're talking about. Okay, so we've got this massive, super valuable resource. The big question is, why isn't everyone using it? Well, the simple answer is because it's a complete mess. And working with this mess, it presents some really serious challenges for data engineers and scientists. And this just lays out the core problem perfectly. On one side, you've got structured data. It's clean, it's organized, it's like a spreadsheet, right? Everything has its place. But on the other side, you've got unstructured data, which is pure chaos. It's a jumble of documents, images, audio files, social media posts, all in different formats with zero inherent order. So let's break these challenges down, because each one is a pretty big hurdle. First, the sheer volume is just overwhelming. Then you've got variability. Text, images, video, they all need different tools. You can't analyze a photo the same way you analyze an email, right? Then there's ambiguity. I mean, sarcasm in a tweet is pretty obvious to you and me, but to a machine, not so much. The data is also full of noise, just tons of irrelevant stuff you have to filter out. And all of this adds up to incredible complexity, which means you need some really advanced techniques to even begin to make sense of it. But hey, where there's a challenge, there's always innovation. We're developing some incredible tools and methods to tame this data chaos and turn it into something genuinely valuable. Let's take a look at how it's done. Okay, so a huge shift in strategy has been the move from ETL to ELT. And the best way to think about it is like this. The old method, ETL, is like prepping all your ingredients at home before you go to a dinner party. You wash, you chop, you organize everything first. The modern method, ELT, is like just bringing the raw groceries to the party and using their awesome high-tech kitchen to do all the prep work right there. It's way faster, it's more flexible, and it's all possible because of modern cloud data warehouses that can handle this prep-on-demand approach. So the ELT process itself is actually pretty simple. First, you extract all the raw data, just as it is, from wherever it is. Then you immediately load it into a super powerful storage system, like a data lake. It's only then, once it's inside the system, that you transform the data as you need it for a specific analysis. The best part is, the raw material is always there, ready for you to ask new questions later. So once all that raw data is loaded in, the first real step to taming it is something called data classification. I mean, you can't analyze what you don't understand, right? This process is basically like putting labels on everything. We categorize the data based on its content, or who made it, or when it was last accessed, creating this searchable index so we know exactly what we're working with. Now, when it comes to text, this is where the real magic happens. It's called text feature engineering. See, computers don't understand words. They only understand numbers. So this is the absolutely crucial process of converting all that raw text into a structured numerical format. It's literally how we teach a machine to read, to understand context, and to find patterns in millions of documents. So we've gone through all this work, right? We've collected, stored, and processed all this messy, chaotic data. So what's the payoff? Well, this is where we see some truly incredible real-world applications that are changing entire industries. It really brings to mind this quote from Fern Halber at TDWI, who put it perfectly. There's value to be had in them thar hills. It just perfectly captures the spirit of the modern data miner, right? Finding treasure where everyone else just sees a mountain of mess. And just look at these examples. By training AI on massive libraries of images and sounds, we can do some amazing things. In medicine, systems can help doctors classify mammograms, which could literally save lives. In the auto industry, an AI can listen to an engine and predict a failure before it even happens. Or in e-commerce, it can automatically label product photos, saving people countless hours of boring manual work. It's also revolutionizing our ability to predict behavior. We can analyze notes from call centers to pull out themes, customer sentiment, you name it. And when you combine that with traditional customer data, you can build these incredibly accurate predictive models. In fact, some companies have found that these models, built on all that messy text data, actually outperform the old models that were built on just clean, structured data alone. How about that? And finally, just think about the last time you used a chatbot. The good ones, the ones that actually help, they use something called natural language processing to truly understand what you're asking. They analyze your text, your customer history, and your status to route you to the perfect person or even offer you personalized shopping recommendations. That's unstructured data at work, making our digital interactions feel a lot more human. So the potential here is clearly immense. But as we start to venture further into this new data frontier, we're not just running into technical challenges. No, we're starting to face some pretty profound questions about responsibility, privacy, and governance. I mean, really think about it. When you post something on social media, who owns that data? The platform? You? Do you have the right to ask for it to be deleted forever? And what about all those medical images being used to train life-saving AIs? Who makes sure they are sourced and used ethically? These are huge, complex questions that we as a society are really just beginning to grapple with. And this leads to a really fascinating and honestly a slightly unnerving concept from NIST called the mosaic effect. Imagine you take multiple separate anonymous data sets. By themselves, they don't tell you much, but when you start to combine them, you can suddenly identify specific individuals. It's like putting together the pieces of a puzzle to reveal someone's actual identity, and that raises some really serious privacy concerns. Which leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? The value that's locked inside all this data is it's undeniable. It has the potential to help cure diseases, prevent accidents, and create incredible new things. But as we unlock this hidden universe, we have to ask ourselves, how do we balance all of that incredible innovation with our fundamental responsibility to protect privacy and to use this new power wisely?